along. Move along, Troy. Move along.
No one here. All right.
I can't wait for tonight.
Oh,
no one here.
So excited.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
You mean like this?
Yes, Toolbox Tuesday.
Toolbox Tuesday, and it
Like
is
it's
Tuesday.
created for us.
Oh, that's right.
If you could create a scene in a haunt with unlimited money and space, what would you build? What would you build? I know what I would build.
Okay. This question is for all of us, but Devin, you go first, unless you want us to go.
I think Troy will try to steal my idea, but
Yeah, so go first. We'll make Troy go last.
I love Disney. I love Adventureland. I love Frontierland, and I've always wanted to have the space to really I'm inspired by Indiana Jones, and I really want to create that forest atmosphere with a suspended drawbridge, running water. I love outdoor scenes that are indoors if you can do it right. And so if I had endless money, it would be creating a jungle scene that's epic.
Create jungle. Indiana Jones.
Indiana.
Okay. All right. What? Oh, sorry. I was just writing down notes of shopping list. Yeah.
I think.
Dan, what about you?
I think if I had unlimited amounts of money, I would create a scene, and it's one of those scenes that, and I don't know, Troy, you probably know about it. Devin, I don't know if you've been to Chicago, but Statesville Haunted Prison had a bungee person that they bounce down and bounce back up. And I don't even think they sell it at Transworld anymore.
Yeah, they do.
But it was, do they?
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it.
There's a new company that does it. Yeah.
Anyway, it's an amazing scare where they're 8 feet up and they bounce down and the bungee pulls them back up.
Yep.
And I would love to create anything around that scare. So that would be the scare I would do. And of course, digital effects. More digital effects, the better.
Well, I know with Hell's Gate, they've got the two girls that are up in the picture frames.
Yeah, but they're not on bungee. They're not on bungees. They just go sliding across the ceiling.
Oh yeah, they fly across. I forgot.
What, Dan, was that in that clown room with the checkers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never got to go, but I watched the videos every day.
Man, I used to watch those videos all the time. I still watch all those videos.
Yeah.
I was up at 4 a.m. last week. I was bored, and I watched the last end of Statesville documentary. The 38 minutes. Oh my god! I watched it. I was like, oh my gosh! I feel like it's a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
John does such a good job at storytelling, and they put their videos.
We might have to have John on next year, maybe.
I think we should have John on. John, I know you're not watching, John, because you're probably doing something with haunted houses right now. But
Monsters is this.
Ironically, brought to you by Haunters.
I love this. I love this because that was my conversation earlier. I'm like, we're really going to ask Brian a question that Brian did not.
Brian, have you asked?
So, yeah. What types of marketing work for your attraction?
All right, that looks familiar.
Right.
Know.
Well, see, Brian puts them up. He doesn't answer them.
And it's old.
Why do you think I ask him? Because I don't know the answer.
right. I've answered so many of these in my day. So Daryl, since you are a current haunt owner,
haunt employee. I don't own the haunt. I don't own Gibbs.
Right. What do you think is your most effective marketing? And it can be something from the past as well.
It is important. Social media is big. You need to go where your audience is, and majority of our audience is on one of the social media platforms. Maybe a little less so Facebook. That's for the haunters themselves, but starting to get into things like TikTok. But there is still a different crowd on social media than there is on TikTok. There's a different crowd on Snap. There's a different crowd, in every form. So you need to figure out where your audience is. And where my audience is in Edmonton is probably not the same place that the audience is, in Mexico, Missouri, or wherever
here
Wisconsin,
watching
something,
There's
whatever.
a lot of O's.
5 O's.
The 5 O's.
The
5 O's, Wisconsin. It may not be the same. So you may have to do some experimentation. One of the guerrilla marketing things that we've done, though, is, and I hate to plug our company again, but Scarrett Badges has created chicken out badges that you give to your customers. So if your customers chicken out, they then walk out with a piece of your advertising on their chest, right? So, you know, Edmonton Haunted House, customer walks out and it says, I chickened out at Edmonton Haunted House. You make sure that they pin that to their chest. They're so embarrassed that then their friends ask them about it. Once we've actually had people that we mentioned that, you know, if you soil yourself or pee yourself, you get a badge at the end. And somebody actually asked for it. And they were so proud of it. And I was like, oh, man.
Oh, wow.
But hey, they wanted their badge because they got so excited or so scared that they peed themselves.
My mom went shopping once a week, and it was on, like, I swear that it was Tuesday. And she went every week and bought Halloween cookies and Halloween items. Christopher, look at him. He's all, what does this have to do with Halloween? I just said Halloween.
I love it.
I'm wearing a Halloween shirt.
I'm not.
Wow.
I'm trying to stay warm because it's freaking cold in Pennsylvania.
We're killing time because we don't have anything to razz Dan about because he's not here. So we're like killing time on that. No, believe me, we have stuff to talk about.
We have news.
Sean says he's the same age as you. So he's 29
I knew it.
and a half.
I remember that.
29 and a half?
About, Sean.
About, give or take.
We're about that.
No.
Around there.
Yeah.
Around there. It doesn't matter after a certain age. Everybody's the same age. Somebody told me that once. They said, after a certain age, everybody that you're around is the same age. And I cannot agree more. I'm at the age where everybody's my age.
Far, far away on a Tuesday night, we extend a galactic welcome to the Haunt Tower. Brought to you tonight by the Interstellar Haunt Collective. Behold the stars of our cosmic show. Susie Fleesick, known for her wild antics and generous spirit. Troy Crivolo, a notorious troublemaker of the galaxy. And Dan Doble, geared up for any challengers. And tonight's guest from the outer reaches of space is...
Let me see your identification.
Bartley Busse.
We don't need to see his identification.
All right, my fellow space travelers, settle in, prepare yourselves, grab your refreshments, and warp into the Haunt Tower galaxy.
It's them. Blast them.
That's fantastic.
Beautiful, as
fantastic,
always.
as usual. Fantastic
Love it.
intro. Welcome everybody to season 4, episode 8 of the Haunt Hour, where tonight we're going to be talking about cool ass Star Wars shit. I'm super fucking excited. And maybe we'll sprinkle some haunt shit in there, here and there. Troy, the intro was amazing. Not gonna lie.
You know, that's what happens when I get excited, you know, because in the past I've made several people's intros differently and stuff. And and once I get going, I had it all done, and then I was like, green screen Star Wars effects.youtube.com. And I was like, whoa, and look at this. And look at this. I was like, I could do this, and I could do this.
Hey, and my intro was recorded. You know, the one intro that I did, the one that I submitted for this season, that was recorded in Disney.
Yeah.
I win.
She'll never do another one. We already know that. We already know she's done.
Susie's winning.
You know, she's going to pull a dance.
Wait till you hear the rest of my announcements tonight. I'm winning.
Oh,
God.
Like winning news announcements? Is that what we're talking about?
No. When we get into the Star Wars talk.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's going to love me.
Yeah.
Hate that.
I'm going to be the favorite tonight.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, when you're already on the bottom, it's not hard to get up.
Hey, stop. Before we go any further, can I petition to have all of that shit that you put in the beginning taken off? Because hearing yourself on video is the worst possible thing ever. If you noticed, I disappeared. Did you notice I wasn't here in my seat? You guys can see, right? I disappeared because I can't handle it. I can't handle my voice being repeated back to me. So stop that shit.
Nope. Actually, you know what? Just because of that, next week's episode is just going to be all Susie bits. It's just going to be
Please
all
don't
Susie's
be
bits.
me laughing.
Season bits.
It's just gonna
Speaking
be
of
all
bits, I was gonna say in your intro when you came out with the mannequin, the only titties that are allowed to be on this show are mine. So don't do that ever again.
Well, now we have titty envy. Got it. Okay.
Not
All right.
titties.
Never do that bit again with that mannequin
Yeah,
thing.
I'll be honest, it
Absolutely
was a little awkward that you came out with the, you know.
I just
titty
didn't
titties.
like it.
I mean, I'm a troublemaker, so there you go. You know,
Yeah,
it was
these are
wildly.
not the droids we were looking for, Troy.
I know, right? Is that why you have me over to your house all the time, Bill? Yeah, let's rethink that comment.
Rethink that comment because that sounded bad. Is that why I'm always at your house, Bill?
I'm always at your house. I swear, I'm at his house more than he is. Hashtag thruple. So to full disclosure, I did absolutely say that while I was at the haunted houses that I went to this past week, that I was going to film some more intros. Did I?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
No, because I can tell you
Good.
why. You want to know why?
Oh,
Because you were so enamored with what you were seeing
oh my
that
god.
nothing else mattered except for
God.
going to haunted
Absolutely.
houses.
Correct.
Like
I've been there.
I will put it this way. The third haunt we went to on Thursday night, which was Markoff's Haunted Forest. Not a lot of people have heard about it. Okay. I think most of the haunters that have been around for a while have heard about it, but
Did
it
they
is
mark off the list?
no. Well, you need to put it on your on your bucket list to mark it off.
And not mark it off till I get there?
Yeah, don't mark it off till then.
Correct.
The end of that show, okay, the entire show left Shannon Hops completely speechless.
Wow. That's
She
big.
walked up to Rainia and
That's
Nick,
big.
the people that operate it, and Rainia Pete from the Haunted Garden days and stuff like that. She does a lot of the design work in there, a lot of the set work. And she walked up to both of them and just said, "Yep." Like she had no words for what went on in that 2-mile haunted forest trail.
Wow.
That trail is amazing.
We walked on a platform, like a walkway that was in the water. We were walking on water through a Viking ship. We went underneath airplanes with a DJ and fire trucks and ambulances strewn about and metal and fire. And there were huts that were, I swear to God, were this small, but they were giant and they had I mean, I can't even describe what went on in this place. It was just the most craziest, but super effective. Like every bit of it was like you had that lulls where you were going from scene to scene and you're out there in their forest. And of course they had stuff in between there too. But I mean, just I still can't even describe it. It's just so nutty. Unique. Like I could tell you almost every scene in Haunted Overload. I could tell you almost every one of them. And I could tell you what it was. I could tell you what it looked like. This was like you were so immersed that you don't remember.
Is it like watching Avatar?
Oh, 100 times better. 100 times better. I mean, I don't even know anything to compare it to. Like, it's just so, you know what? Sean, she does a lot of mushroom stuff for the EDM festival. She makes giant mushrooms, and they were there.
Yep.
It's still
you can't describe it. I totally get it. It's basically put the link in the description below and go check it out.
Oh, I will. I'm gonna find.
Sounds
what
like
I'm gonna do is I know there's people that took video of it. I will find it eventually. I
feel like you should have already found it before you brought it up because
I did not have time.
Maybe.
The 1.5 minutes you sent me on Snapchat was definitely not enough.
No.
I was like, oh, that's really cool. Oh, it's over. What the fuck?
Oh, I know. I will find while I'm still talking here. But Legends of the Fog was a daytime tour, but we got to see the inside haunts. And we got to go on their hayride where it was like they told us what would go on at night. And this would now be my second hayride that I've been on because I went on Legends of Fear, which is up in Connecticut. And they have rails on the side of their wagon where the actors can step up and walk along it. Most hayride wagons, they just come up to the sides or they get up and go in the middle. Well,
let me say this. It's Pennsylvania and they're cracking down. That's why.
Well, I think it's even better to have those rails on there because it's more effective for those actors to know that they're being safe, and they can be right there with you instead of just trying to grab onto the hayride or walk next to you and go boo. They're able to interact with you as they're walking along that pathway on the wagon. And I think that's way more effective. They also put you in the barns. Each little section had a barn or whatever, and then they shut the doors, and then everything happened around you. Doors open up and you move out to the next scene.
That's cool.
We did go to Bates Motel, but I'll leave that part for last. So because that was the other hayride.
Yep.
We did go to Laurel's House of Horror, which is so Legends of Fog, Laurel's, and Markoff's are all in Maryland. It was a very long drive.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you were in PA for all of it.
No, just this is the Thursday pre-show tour. So I got to sit next to Ben Armstrong and Chris from Dozer from we had him on a couple weeks ago, and we had a fantastic bus ride the whole time. The 3.5 hour bus ride back was not as cool, but whatever. Yeah. It was still worth it. Laurel's had they were an old movie theater, and I love movie theater haunts because of the slanted floors. It's hard to build on, but you disorient yourself as soon as you're in there because you're walking sideways and up and down and left and right. It's amazing. They did very good. Not all the actors. It's a convention tour, so it's expected. But the final scene was literally one of the movie theaters, and they made it look like they had this giant chandelier that had fallen from the ceiling. The movie was playing on the thing, and there were actors that it was sort of like a vampire-y type thing with this giant filleted girl up suspended in midair that you had to walk through her. She was completely filleted and open. And there was a girl there who was probably 7 feet tall. And she hung out with us the rest of the weekend too. She was going from like let's say row 3, and her other leg was on row 6. And then she'd go one leg up on the wall, and you'd walk underneath her. And she was, just real fluid movements. There were two other girls were on the piano doing. They were just. You thought they were going to slink at you, but they were going to do it so slow that you're like, I get to watch myself die. Because they were just doing it so fluidly and nicely. They were absolutely awesome in that room. But so all three of those had very different feels. Markoff's, of course, was the highlight of the entire weekend, and that is over Pennhurst and Bates. Pennhurst has an amazing setup. Just amazing. Their underground tunnels at the end was very, very awesome. A lot of people said they felt a lot of heaviness in there, and because there's a lot of shit that went down in that place over the years. And there was definitely a feeling in those tunnels that was not part of the show. All their actors were great. They were very, very on point, very effective. And then Bates was the nighttime. We went through that at the nighttime, and I don't know if a lot of you have seen the marketing for Bates. To me, I was expecting this gigantic, extravagant show.
Nope.
Because I had seen Bates Motel from the videos.
Yeah.
And the hayride was good, except for it never stopped. It just kept going the whole time. And I've heard that even during haunt season, it goes a little faster because they have so many people come.
Yeah,
that lost a little bit of points for me because I felt like I really wanted to see more. And as a convention tour, we had plenty of time. We could have stayed longer. We could have went a lot slower. The actors who were there were great, but the constant moving of the trailer was not to my liking personally. The motel itself, you entered through the side of the motel. And you enter and you exit through the front of it. It was underwhelming.
Really?
Why do you say that? Was it just the walk up to the show, or was it
the expectation of the all the money they put into their marketing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think sometimes that can make it pass.
Well, they say they're America's, America's scariest haunt, America's number one.
Well, they pay for America's scariest haunt.
They all say that. But the house felt cookie cutter to me. I guess the one that was the one we didn't get to see because there's no corn was the corn maze, and I guess that is a one of their highlights.
Yeah.
I kind of make it to in Oregon we had radio station haunts that got a ton of marketing, ton of content, all that kind of stuff. And they were not always conga line haunts, but they were definitely the ones that everybody went to because they heard about it 1,000 times before they went. And then they didn't hear about the one down the street, which was honestly better, you know?
Right.
And I think the marketing for haunters anyways, I think the marketing made me feel like it was going to be something extreme and way more. Yeah. And not to say it wasn't awesome there. I always find awesome stuff to have in there, you know, and to see. They had great effects on the hayride. The set design in the house was awesome. The house itself was awesome. Great for pictures, all that kind of stuff. I was hoping to enter through the house. I thought that would have been awesome. And maybe different years they do that, you know, they obviously change it up. But yeah, I was definitely expecting more. And I talked to other people and they were like, you know, they said the same thing. They were like, they found a lot of cool stuff they liked about it. But when you said, you know, well, what was your favorite of the five? Markoff's was first and then Penhurst was after that. But every one of them had an absolutely, you know, awesome experience for us. They all went over and above to have all of us out there in the middle of April. And you know, I thank all of them for that. We saw 5 different haunted houses, 100% different haunted houses. None of them were the same, you know, which is a fantastic haunt tour. And that's how all of them should be. I mean, that's what I tried to do with mine. I know that Lost Souls did that. You know, Japes used to do that a lot. You know, so I think we got the formula down for haunt tours, you know, all of us that put them on. And it works really well. So
So you were underwhelmed with Bates, but talk to me a little bit more about Markoff's.
Would you like me to?
I don't think he can. Remember he said he can't explain it.
I want to know more. I want to know why.
I'm finding pictures. Yeah. I'm finding pictures because I did take
so
pictures.
Everybody talks about Bates, and Bates is Bates. I mean, it's a great show. It's very marketed. It's it's one of the top 5 haunts, 2% of haunter, whatever you want to call them, you know. But what about the other ones? You know, talk to me.
But about the whole marketing situation versus, you know, would you rather, as a consumer, see a video that makes the place look amazing and then go and be underwhelmed, or see a video that's not quite great and you get in there and you're like, holy shit, this is underrated? Which one's better?
It depends if you're a business person or if you're a haunter. Let's be honest. If
but
you're a business person, you're going to want the best damn video that you can get.
You have to have that to get them in the door, but then they get in the door and they leave bad reviews because it
doesn't matter. We already have your
live
money.
Up to the expectations. I know, but don't reviews mean anything? Do we care?
To me, they do. To you, they do.
I care because I look at them for my tours. Like I was explaining to people this weekend.
You look at them as a consumer. Absolutely, 100%.
Right.
Whether you want
but as a business owner, I want the consumer to leave good reviews. So I do care about both sides of it because it's obviously it's my business. But we haven't had the money for good video and good photography until this year because we got a grant. So, which is actually what I'm doing on Saturday. But that is my issue is I've had so many people come in and be like, we had no idea this place was this good because my marketing fucking sucks.
And that's where like Markoff's is the opposite of Bates. Markoff's is absolutely a word of mouth haunted house. It is you live in Maryland, you know about it, but outside of it, it's now I'm telling everybody who's watching this, I'm telling you guys, everybody who was on that tour is telling everybody, this needs to be on your bucket list. This is absolutely.
How long have they been around? Honestly, I've never heard of them. So
I have.
We probably need to have Rainey on at some point. I will try to get her on next year.
That's a great idea.
So we can do that. But like Chris said, there's no pictures or video that can do it. I mean, you have to experience
Sure,
it. It's a lot like
absolutely. You're
Overload.
100% correct.
I would say it is right on the same level as Overload for sure, hands down. With
cool.
the giantness, the
That's
effects,
amazing.
the colors,
Mhm.
but a little bit more immersive than Overload.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Um,
see what you're saying. Didn't you say before when you went to Overload, it was more like walk through and spectacle and
Yes.
look at it all
Yeah,
instead of
it's a home
experiencing
haunter.
it?
Well,
Mhm.
and really both of these are home haunters. Absolutely, I mean, Rainier was a home haunter. A lot of the people that worked there they basically have make this go.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Chris and Ryan both say that it was 32 years.
That's
32
amazing.
years.
Okay.
And
Okay.
a lot of people are
Long
just
time.
now hearing about it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that it's kind of like the industry's best kept secret because you need to be there to experience it. It's I mean, I still can't explain it. I mean, it's just
So
it's
do we
just-
know if they do a lot of marketing? Anybody that's listening or watching, do you
Ryan
live
and
within
Chris
this
on Chris would know.
vicinity to know if they do big marketing or not? Or do they just rely on
they have a gigantic fucking
No, I've never
windmill.
been.
They have a giant windmill in there.
That's
It's fucking
amazing.
giant. And it's moving.
Yeah, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, it's an
Adventure Park summer camp.
Yeah.
Like still working? Like it's still being
yeah.
used as that?
Yep. That I did remember Nick
Interesting.
talking about. And they aren't in the direct main well, yeah, that too. They are not in a market area.
Yeah.
Like they're way out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
That matters.
I mean, they have nighttime zip lining. You can, while you're at the haunt, you can go zip
Sweet.
lining. I was
What?
like, oh my gosh, I wanna do
Sweet.
that.
I love that.
That is awesome.
Here's
Yeah.
the Viking ship. I mean, these people, this walkway they're on over here is literally on the water. We're going like this. I mean, it was
That's cool.
I mean, giant foam, dinosaur skeletons.
Yeah.
You went into an alien ship in the middle of it. Just an alien ship.
See, I love the whole woods thing. Like I love that.
Man,
Oh, that was
And you can get away with it down there,
this was
too.
prior to the junkyard scene,
That's
which is
cool.
coming up here in a second.
That's
That is
cool.
that's a killer house.
Troy, did you say it was 2 miles? Is that real or are you just saying
Yes,
that?
it is 2 miles.
Dang.
2 miles. He said Chris said that they push 20,000 a year.
how many actors?
Mhm. Yeah.
Do you know?
I would say probably I would say for haunt season probably pushing 100 to 150 probably.
Yeah. You'd need to with that. I mean, 2 miles. That's a long
Oh yeah.
walk.
Oh yeah. I mean, just there's a giant school bus on top of scaffolding, and then there's a fire truck on top of that. And I mean, it's just there is my buddy Chris.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
Yeah,
entrance.
that's
to get to
cool.
The forest. I mean,
That's
it's just
cool as shit.
oh,
All lit up.
this place is just magical. It's absolutely magical. So if you have a chance to get to Maryland during haunt season, or maybe future Terror Tours, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, then
Mhm.
you need to go to Markoff's. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Let's see. We could probably, So I mean, there was plenty of other. I mean, we could probably just say, you know what? Let's just do.
Fucking facts. I tell you.
Facts.
Now
fucking
we're gonna do
facts.
Facts.
Um,
Let's just skim right through this. Let's go.
let's go.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Everybody knows East Coast Hunters Convention, first year. Let's go. Next.
East Coast Hunters Convention. Boom.
That's all right. Look at that. Hey, there's people on the show floor. Amazing. Okay, moving on.
Oh my God! Wow, look at that.
Oh, look, more people. Look,
It's a
people-
convention.
Wait,
Wow.
Dan, do I see you in there?
No, you
Oh
don't.
no,
No.
don't see
Oh.
Dan. You don't see me
Oh,
either.
I don't see Dan,
Hey,
but I see
I
Alan and
saw,
Shannon. Yay.
Look, there's
Oh.
Shannon. Yay. Oh, look, there's Ellen too. Hey, look at that. Yay.
Yay. They were my booth buddies. They were across from me.
Oh, if you look at this, there's only like 10 people in this picture. It
Yeah, I
probably
would
wasn't
count
busy.
about 10, 12.
Yeah,
What time was
yeah,
that, Troy?
yeah, 10.
What time was that?
I mean, what was the
Manor,
closing time?
that was
It was before the show floor opened, right? Because Alan's talking to
Oh
his
yeah,
wife.
yeah.
so
These are actually
we
only
can't-
vendors. These
Yeah.
are only
Yeah.
vendors that are on the
Yeah.
show floor.
Yeah,
That's it.
definitely.
So
Good
yeah,
shot.
yeah,
Oh my
Good shot.
God.
yeah. Definitely
Wow.
not 4,000 people. Definitely not.
I'm
No,
going
Those
to
are the
bed.
same people in the last picture and this picture. Good job.
Right.
Yeah,
I
he just moved them around.
they're actually actors. I moved them from place to place. And I took a picture with them.
He did. He moved him around and told him to walk at a different angle.
They're all haunt actors from Markov's. It's fine. Don't
So-
worry about it. Shush.
So, in all honesty, was the show busy? Was
They
it a
expected
good show?
1,000 people. They expected 1,000, and by Monday of last week, they had sold 3,000 tickets, and probably
Dang.
another 1,000 showed up between that time.
That's awesome. Good for
It
them.
was
Next
it was
year, Dan.
so.
We got next year, Dan.
We got
Let's
next
just
year.
let's just put it this way. I never stopped talking about the tours until 2:00 on Sunday.
Oh, come
That
on.
doesn't
Like,
surprise
we
me at all.
can't
You
believe
never
that.
stopped
We're
talking,
shocked.
period.
I know, right? But I mean, I had a
What?
line. I had a line outside my table
No.
waiting to talk to me. Everybody had
Oh
tons
my
of
God.
people. Probably what helped with that is that the show floor was a little more compact. They did have some room on the end that they could have added more vendors if they wanted to.
What do you mean by a little more compact? What size show
I think the
floor are we
aisles
talking
may have been a little bit narrower, and I don't know if it was because
Mm.
they didn't know what was going to go on with the haunted house row, because they had a whole row that was just, or 2 rows that were just haunted houses on both sides, and then they
Oh,
had
no
a
shit.
seating area with a stage and an eating area in the middle.
So
they
the
had
haunted
games.
houses. Let's go to that because I really want to talk about that because that's a thing that the old what the hell is that?
So you want to know? So
That's
you want to
the
know
entrance.
this?
Is that the entrance?
So of course. Hey,
Oh,
you got
that's what
pros
you
and
want to
cons.
know right there.
The video.
Oh, wow. How'd you find that?
That's what I wanted to know about the video.
Perfect.
So when you say haunted,
So
you're
what they
talking about
did
actual haunts?
was, yeah, they put any haunt could get their, get a booth in there, and they literally
Mhm.
put them across from each other. They actually had Olympics where they had to do challenges against each other all
Oh my
weekend
God.
long to be the best haunt, at the Olympics. First, second, third place.
Mm.
They had to do like the 2-legged race and
Whose idea was this? Was this,
limbo and
was
all
this
kinds of silly
Transworld's
stuff.
idea?
Huh?
Was this Transworld's idea?
What, to do the haunted house row?
No, to do this whole challenge thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't done it at any other show. I mean, every show has games,
I know, but like this is for the best.
Yeah.
This is for
yeah. This was actually every haunt that wanted to compete had to put contestants in, and there were like 8 challenges throughout the weekend they had to do,
oh, that's fantastic.
cool.
and it
I
was
fucking
and it
love
was
that's cool.
very entertaining. I think he actually catches it. Let's see, does he go back? Because Carpetbagger was there, and he
Yep.
I actually
There he
met him
is.
at the Liberty Bell. And right here is after this guy. Look, who's that guy on the left there? That's your host Troy right there. He's playing Family
Oh,
Feud.
man.
Haunter
Moment in the
Family Feud.
spotlight.
Is that Ben?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Haunter Family Feud was absolutely fun. I think some of the questions were not given to us right because we had some really good answers and they were not
Why?
right.
Did you lose? Did you lose?
Oh yeah, we lost.
That's why.
Well, here's the thing: we were the only team out of all 4 teams that actually got more than 3 of them right. We ended up getting 4 right and then missed the last 2. But I think our question was, what are some things that scare people in haunted houses? So I said air blasters. Evidently,
Yeah.
not on the list.
What?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I was robbed. I was absolutely robbed because I had that one in
Yeah.
the bag. That was my 5th question. That was like my 5th answer. I was like, I got this. Air blasters. And or the little air ticklers or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. I was definitely robbed.
I think at the next convention we should go, the 3 of us, and just have our little haunt hour booth. And then we should do like some kind of challenge between the 3 of us and see who wins.
I'm down for that.
I don't know
You
what
gotta
it would
give me
be,
a reason to go other than just say hi to people.
but,
I need to be
and
challenged.
cause problems,
I need to
cause
be challenged.
issues. Because me and you are just going to go and burn shit down.
Yeah, pretty much. Hashtag nothing to lose.
For you.
Oh, don't worry. I won't take you with me. I'll let you float when I get flushed down the toilet. Don't worry.
One of them I saw did a video of it. I swear it was Carpetbagger. I'm going to put both these videos in the chat and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know, for people to watch in their own time. But it was nonstop busy until about Tuesday at on 2 o'clock on Sunday. The line out the door was an hour and 45 minutes. There were complaints online about getting people in. It definitely was an amazing weekend. For a first year show, very unexpected.
Now, so they had more people than they thought. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for them? Because if you have complaints, do you think they're going to limit the amount of people that can go next time? What are they going to do? You think?
They've already bought a second hall.
Make it a bigger place?
Yes, they bought a second hall already, and they had 4 registration booths this year. They've already added 10 for next year.
Nice.
And they're absolutely. I mean, they only expected 1,000 people. Jen told me, she's like, I only expected 1,000. And
oh my gosh, no, that's too low of a number. I knew it was going to be a number. But here's the thing:
she didn't want to sit there and say, "Hey, vendors, there's going to be 5,000 people here."
Well, you can't promise that.
Know.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody knows. I mean, East Coast is uncharted territory.
Yep.
Hey, next year I might be able to go because I'm pulling my daughter out of Catholic school. But anyway, go ahead.
Yes, we will talk about that later.
We don't have to.
Felt like
it's fine. I talked about it all week. I'm fine.
So, but I do have news for it's actually it's self-serving, but
it's the haunting news.
Pee-wee. Rip.
skip ahead a little bit.
And if you act now, you get a free demon possession with the price of admission. Now you can't beat that, can you?
Of course, Bucky.
Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done, Troy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well
Spent a
done.
lot of time on that like a week before the show because I got everything
it.
lined up like a week before the show. So I was like, shit, I got to get all this
love
video
it.
stuff done.
You got to go up those rocky steps, though.
I
want
did
to
it.
see video of that.
I did it.
I didn't
Now,
see video of it. It didn't happen.
I did. So
It didn't
I
happen.
walked up them yesterday on Monday. I was up there when they have a giant art exhibit thing in the front of it right now, but you can still get all the way up.
Right. I've driven past it, but
Yes.
not been in it.
Fun fact about Philadelphia and the Rocky Steps: the Rocky statue is off to the side. If you want to see it, it's not on, not up on the top of the steps. It's off to the side.
It's not. It's. I think they do that so people don't clog up the steps for pictures.
Oh yeah. So I did go up the steps. I did the hair, but when I go back in September, me and my friend Tristan are going to actually run the steps. We're gonna run them, and I'm gonna beat
You
them.
have to.
But I did go all over Philadelphia, saw awesome stuff as well.
Yeah.
But yes, we are going to fantastic haunts in September and October. So you know where to get information for it. You know, you can go to the website, blah blah blah. So
Yeah, that's sweet.
yeah. But you know, I think you know,
It's only been an hour.
talking about
I
going
mean,
places,
right?
I would like to go a little north of where we are now.
Fair
And
enough.
I mean, Dan's pretty north, but I think Saskatchewan's a
Not-
little bit farther north.
A little bit further up.
Don't you think so?
Hello, Bart.
Hello.
Greetings.
Sorry,
you guys?
Troy. We tried to stop Troy from talking. He just kept going.
It was a great introduction. I thought we were
It was
here
a
to
big
talk about
weekend. It was a
Halloween,
big
though,
weekend.
not Star Wars.
Right.
I sent you the wrong stuff.
Oops.
We all love talking about Halloween all the time.
All the time.
All
This
the
is
time.
true.
We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, Bart. Whatever you
Well,
want to
the
talk
weather,
about is what we'll
the
discuss.
weather has been kind of up and down here.
I would agree. The weather here has been the same. It's been
It's
raining.
hot as hell. I'm wearing a tank top, so it's hot here.
It started in the 50s when I got there on Wednesday, and it was 90 on
Guys,
Monday when I left.
Yeah.
Guys,
We
we're
had a
losing
heat wave
viewers.
here.
We're losing viewers. Can we get back to Halloween?
Halloween. You know that in October it's very cold in Saskatchewan.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes
that-
it snows.
Almost all the time lately, it's been snowing. It's crazy.
Right.
And usually just days before Halloween.
I think what
How
I
do you
need to
deal with
do
that?
is I need to come up to your house because the last time I was up in Canada, the snow waited until after Halloween. So I think I need to come to your house right around before Halloween, and then it will stay until after.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Yes.
See?
I mean, I've had to shovel it out the last couple of years before Halloween.
Shovel it out. Do you plan for it ahead of time?
Well, I mean, you
There's
can
things
plan
where you're
for
like,
it.
I don't want to do that because I know it's going to snow.
I plan for it, and having the snow on it itself isn't so much of the problem. It's the fact that you have to put it away afterwards.
In
So
the
you need to
cold.
dig it out
Yeah.
one way or the other.
Ugh.
Better to do it beforehand.
That's
Yep.
true.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what's been up with it. Howling winds some years, snow, pouring rain last year leading up to it. Yes.
I'll take snow over rain. Absolutely.
Yeah, snow's better,
Yes.
probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all of that over wind.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
wind is a
I'll be
killer.
honest, we'll just take 75, 80 degrees. Let's do that.
I could
All the
I could
time.
go for that. Yes. We
Where do you
have
live
had
again, Dan?
Halloweens like that.
What's that?
I said, where do
Not
you
where
live
it's
again?
75 or 80 and out.
That's what I was gonna. That's what I'm wondering.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
It'd be nice just to have a Halloween where it gets to maybe even a few degrees above zero.
Oh hell
That-
no!
That would be
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Susie, remember they're on the
Celsius.
metric system.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh
true,
yeah,
true,
sorry.
true, true.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's all right, Bart.
Above
Next,
freezing.
hey, next thing
Yeah.
he's gonna start doing is talking French, and then I'm out of here because I don't
I'm going
understand that
to.
shit.
I don't know any of that. Sorry.
Also, did I say your last name right?
You're pretty close. It is a variation. It's actually pronounced Busse.
Busse. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna go French with it, but I
Interesting.
decided not to.
And how would that sound?
Yep. Yeah, please, please. Yes, thank you
I'm
for telling me.
curious.
Yes, go. Troy, the floor is yours.
Oh,
Panties. You can get your hotties.
Bartley Busse Panty.
that's better than some variations I've heard.
Yeah, see?
Oh,
Oh
my
my God,
goodness.
I'm sure.
My goodness.
We'll remember that.
Grant
I will never forget your last name from here on out, Bart.
Grant says not much French in Saskatchewan, but there is Saskatchewanese. So there you go. So
Yes. Okay.
it's a whole dialect. You don't worry about it. So Bart,
man.
we generally like to start the show off when you were a child. So
We're already children.
when aren't we?
I still can't get over the last name. Sorry, Bart.
That's fine. You want to start as a child? I think my mother has a picture of me naked in the bathtub. Would you like to start with that?
You know what? Let's do it. We're already on a downward spiral, so why not?
It's already going downhill. We're cut.
Reset. Halloween. Here we come.
So you need to tell us how you got into this crazy bit of Halloween that you're into now. Was it in your childhood? Did you haunt when you were a kid? Did you just go trick-or-treating? How did you start in this crazy world?
Well, I mean, I guess like any other kid, yes, went trick-or-treating. Probably it wasn't until, elementary school when the school would do the occasional little Halloween party we would do. And I would get involved with the decorating for that, which was not much back when I went to school. I think we had some cutouts that people would color with their crayons and we'd hang them up, that sort of thing. And then the dance would have some colored lights and we'd call that our Halloween dance. Did a little bit of that, then didn't do a whole lot until early 20s when, I guess before that, when I got too old for trick-or-treating, I like to try to terrify the kids coming to the door. So my friend and I we'd set out recordings of howling wolves and things like that, usually make them stop in the driveway. And then we graduated to lighting firecrackers and letting those go off while they were standing outside. That was always good for a laugh.
That's good.
That was back in the day when you could get away with more of that sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
Then didn't do too much again until early 20s when my boss at the time was with the Scouts and they did this overnight trooping thing. And we built a couple of haunted houses, which was really quite fun. And the best one we did, we only were able to do two, but the best one we did, we nicely got it finished. And then the blizzard started. So we didn't even get to run the whole thing. And within hours, there was a foot of snow on the ground.
Wow.
So that was disappointing, but I rounded up a couple of friends. We did that. And then life just kind of got in the way. It didn't do really much of anything. Handed out candy at the door at Halloween. One of my good friends, he was always doing Halloween decorations, and I'd always be inspired by his display. He was always doing pirates. And eventually I just kind of moved into, I started doing some parties and then moving into the outdoor side of it. And then it just kind of snowballed. As one friend said, it escalated quickly.
Right.
And that kind of brought us up to date where, yeah, it did escalate it quickly. And now fighting with the elements all the month of October to put on this little display. So that's it in a nutshell.
Right.
And that's the little display you're looking at, or part of it.
Because this is the... Why is it not playing? Oh, there it goes. Okay.
So this would have been one of the house parties I think you're playing here.
Yeah.
What year
So
is
that,
this?
2017.
2017.
yeah. I did a few of them, and then COVID came along, and that really put a dampener on all that. But they kind of evolved. I started winding a story into it, or like a mystery. And as people would arrive and hang out in the evening, they'd start discovering some clues, and they would piece together a story. So by the end of the evening, they'd have put together the whole story of this this haunted house, which would be the party. So it wasn't just looking at things; it was discovering things, almost like an escape room, except not
That's
as
cool.
complex.
Yeah.
Like an escape room with a murder mystery dinner. It's this, type of thing.
Yeah, it would be. They wouldn't even know at first what they were trying to solve. They would just start finding clues. So that made it more fun. But then, yeah, COVID got in the way. And then I started turning more to outdoors. Started small with that, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger until the whole front yard was filled.
Right.
Or under snow, depending on how you look at it.
Right. Kenneth, the snowstorm of 83.
And 84 and 85 and 86. I
Pretty
don't know. We
much.
seem to get more snow lately in October than what it used to. I remember lots of Halloweens as a kid where it was beautiful weather.
Right.
And now it's such a mixed bag. Even during setup, I push it earlier every year to try to avoid the bad weather.
Right.
And I either get rain or howling winds lately trying to set up. That's always enjoyable.
Right.
Styrofoam tombstones don't like to be laying on the ground during the howling wind. Don't work very well.
Nope. Bill wants to know if was the house party at your house or did you do it at a location?
I would do it at my house and then just invite friends over for it.
Right.
And I really enjoyed it. And I may get back to that again too. It's sort of a juggling act. There's so much to do for the outdoor stuff now that running the indoor stuff.
Yep.
I would need more of me. I need a staff. I say it all the time. I need a staff.
Right.
I love Halloween. I feel like Halloween parties, man, that's like where it started for me. And I would love to go back to that simplicity of a Halloween party and have that be all I do. I would love to do that. It would be amazing. But I had to go and fuck it up and open a
so funny.
I love Halloween parties. There's so much.
Love them. And house parties. Oh, the best.
Yes,
I would agree, and I would do it in a heartbeat again. But if I did, my wife would kill me because I'm the guy that sets everything up, and then when the first person walks in the door, I'm completely useless for the rest of the night. Completely useless. Completely useless. My wife is doing all the stuff behind the scenes, and she hates it.
I would set up my Halloween parties like a month in advance because there was so much to do inside the house, and I would live in the haunted house.
That's awesome.
Some of my friends would say, how can you stand it? And it's like, it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
One of the funniest stories there was a lot of these animatronics where I just had batteries in them. And just as I'm falling asleep one night, the batteries start going dead in one of these animatronics. So this demon thing starts laughing and carrying on as I'm falling asleep. And I kind of woke up.
Love it.
And I laid there for a little bit and then I just had to laugh because it's so surreal, crazy. So get up in the middle of the night, take the batteries out of this thing. I'm telling some of my friends about that. And they said, I'd have burned the place down and left. They couldn't believe that I would sit or sleep through any of that. And it's like, it doesn't bother me.
That's part of it.
That's part of it.
That's
exactly.
Yeah, when my kids were little, we had a ton of spirit Halloween stuff, and we probably still have them somewhere put away in this house. But when they were little, we'd have parties for their friends, and these little kids would just run around my house and set those things off over and over and over and over and over again. And there would be times we'd forget to, unplug them or turn them off or whatever. And we'd go to bed on the nights of the Halloween parties and you'd hear them down in the living room or the dining room going off. And I'd be like, son of a bitch, somebody go down and turn that shit off. But so I know I'm right there with you.
Yeah. It's so much fun. It's I'd love to have a few more parties. Once I get the staff hired, then we can divide and conquer. So I think you're looking there right now at the last party I did before COVID.
Yeah.
And I had I still have a really big plan for what the next party is going to be, and maybe someday it'll get executed.
And so then you decided, well, I'm going to go with the.
Yeah, we'll start moving outdoors, and that's safe from COVID. It is not going to have any problems doing that, and people seem to appreciate it. I don't get a lot of kids. It's very up and down in my neighborhood. It's a small city. 1 year I had probably 140. The next year I had 80. So you just never know what it's going to be, and it's so weather dependent too.
Right.
Yeah, one of my friends who's been decorating for 30 odd years, she does this incredible display with inflatables. And she's known as the Halloween house in the city. She had 900 kids last year, which was a record for her.
Wow.
Yeah, in this
Dang.
small place, it was great. So this was, I think, year before last, maybe. So all my tombstones, my friend and I, we made just stupid names and little puns and everything. And then later I decided to string them all together into a story, which, as you can imagine, be quite interesting considering none of them had similar names or dates or anything else. But that was fun to do too. So now there's a whole backstory forming for all these things.
Oh yeah.
And there's my tribute to Disney because I'm a big Haunted Mansion fan.
Right.
I think I've heard Troy say he's not a Haunted Mansion fan. Yeah.
Nope.
I don't know.
I don't understand you at all.
Not a
Yeah, so you're
Haunted
on
Mansion.
that
You
one,
know,
that one.
I like it, but
I don't get why you
it's-
don't
it-
love it.
Yeah, you really should.
Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
a little
it's
a little
not-
bit confusing.
It's not a
it's
little
not
bit. It's
spooky,
very confusing.
scary. Like it because it's Disney.
It doesn't
and
have to be
it's not-
terrifying.
No,
It doesn't have to be
it's-
terrifying. It just it's
Come on,
Here's
Troy.
the thing. I think what it's become is that it's kind of like clowns. There's a lot of home haunters that do haunted mansion
Yeah,
stuff.
no.
yeah, probably
No.
because you're in the home haunt. You know what I mean? I don't
Right.
see that as
Right.
much. So
For-
maybe
for
that's
the
bad for
patron,
me.
For people going
Yeah.
to his house or going to anybody's house that has haunted
Yeah.
mansion, that's the only other one they've seen. They've seen the haunted mansion, and then they saw this house down the street that did it. Awesome. But for me, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's overload. There's too many people that do it.
Yeah.
But I love the passion and how they make the things. I absolutely love it when somebody makes something as close to it as they can or puts their own spin on it, things like that. I
Yeah.
love how people have been able to make these things look like Disney made it. There's
The dark ride people that we interviewed that did the whole thing. That was
right,
crazy.
right. It's
That was wild.
it's the fact that you're able to make something and a lot of times it is extremely close, if not
Like replicate
very,
that closely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that to me is very awesome.
Yeah, that's
Just not into the, I wouldn't do it. I'll put it that way.
I
Sean
wouldn't do it
lost-
either, but I love the ride and I love the whole thing.
Sean,
Yeah,
you lost
I
five.
love the
Sean,
ride.
you lost 5 points, by the way.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
What are we
Let's
talking
get
about
another
points
10.
for? Who's getting points? What did I miss?
Sean's getting
Haunties.
points towards his free his free pair of haunties.
Yes. And for those of you who know
Oh,
what
wait, okay, I
haunties are,
remember
those
that.
are haunt panties.
Haunt fancy.
I remember that.
Yeah, are they going to be out in time for Christmas? I have some gift.
Definitely.
Yes,
Definitely.
they will. And because Troy had a set of titties other than mine on the show, we are also going to have bras. That's what you get, Troy. And Troy has to wear it and model it for
Yeah.
every
Well,
single show.
on his forehead.
Haunter's ears. I don't know.
Hauntiers?
Hauntiers. Haunter ears.
Do we call them braziers? No, we don't.
Everybody's turning on me.
Troy's a man on an island.
Well, you don't like Haunted Mansion. You
Wow.
like to wear bras. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like
Dark.
Buc-ee's. I like Buc-ee's.
Yep. There's no
don't have
Buc-ee's
that
in
up
Canada
here.
or Wisconsin, eh?
Not
Is that
yet.
Like
Or
a 7-Eleven.
Can't be
Or
like
PA.
us. No,
So-
you
Or PA.
can't- you can't be like us.
Well, I mean, I took inspiration from the Haunted Mansion because I do love the Haunted Mansion.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got to start. You got to start.
Of course you do.
Troy, don't try and butter him up now. I feel
I
like
love
all
the
he did is
Haunted
humor me.
Mansion. Yeah.
Told him you hated
Yeah.
his Haunted Mansion thing. So, whatever.
You know what? I'm telling my wife right now, no more Frankenstein theme. We're doing the Haunted Mansion Dark Ride
I
in
know.
the garage
No,
to
no,
the
no.
letter. To the
No, no,
I
letter.
already know the answer to number 3 tonight. So, right, Dan? Is it number 3?
Yes, it's 3.
Nope. I'm doing all Haunted Mansion. Here we go.
Here we go.
And you know what? And then I'm gonna make something and I'm gonna beat Bart at it. Watch.
Oh, and that's what it all comes down to, Bart. You know it.
It's really what this is
Very
all about.
bitter.
He brought you
Very
on
bitter.
this. You know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan and I love Halloween. So I know you and I are going to hit it off. But he brings you on here just to prove a point. He
Exactly.
was
Yeah, well,
salty
we-
that he
we
lost
can-
to you.
We can
Salty.
hash it out. I say
Ooh.
it was a simple one, boiled down to one simple thing. Mine was unique
Better.
because
Sorry, go ahead.
I never said that.
I did.
I
That's
did
fine.
too.
It had the virtue of being a bit more unique, being basically designed from the computer on up to being printed.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what Troy's was, but I'm pretty
Well, I'll
sure
show
it
it
was
in a minute.
just something common, maybe pedestrian.
I absolutely have to hand it to you, though.
It's great. It's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Not many people can
I
flame the
am-
poo at me like you can.
But you didn't enter anything this year, did you? Or this
I
past
hope
year?
not.
No, I did not because I moved, so I didn't have anything to enter. No,
Oh,
but that
So
also
I
means
didn't.
you can't. Oh, this was for the Canadian Haunters Awards. So you're able to enter again, but you have to do you have to enter the veteran one, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have a chance now.
Or do
By
you?
default,
Sure.
he's out of the running now. So yes,
You have a
he
chance.
He did that. You guys all got to stop laughing at him. It's not funny.
Can't help it, man.
Sure.
So that picture you're showing now was the one and only time I was able to scrounge up some actors,
Oh my God.
which worked out really well. And it's just such a small place again to find people. So hopefully this year I can maybe find a few more.
So
Where
he
you
made
live, how many people are in your city where you live?
There's about 16,000.
Okay.
Dang.
That's a
It-
small
That's
town.
bigger than my town. Mine's like half that. Mine's like 75.
Yeah.
Really? 7,500 in your town?
7,500 in my town, yeah. Mhm.
Well, send me
so
some
that's
actors.
what I made. I made this,
It's beautiful. Next.
and he made and he made a badass radio.
Yeah. I feel like that's the radio that should be on the Haunt Tower. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that's good.
Well, thank you.
Good.
Well, points
That's
for
right.
you.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Can we get the Haunt Hour logo like 3D printed and put on it? That would be sweet.
It
could
would be
sell
pretty
it with
sweet, Not
panties.
gonna lie.
Buy
There's a-
one
Troy
buy
is just
one,
salty right now.
one
His
pair
beard
of
is growing.
panties and get a haunt radio free.
That's a hell of a
Ooh.
deal. The panties are about what, 500-600?
Yeah, that was a fairly significant print. I think I worked on that print just for a week alone.
That's what it said in your thingies there. It took a week to print, so that's
Yeah.
pretty
It's
that's pretty
super
cool.
It is,
Super
and
cool.
and the fact that it lights up, it does all the things.
Yeah.
I will absolutely say touche, and that you definitely deserve it.
You
That's
just
big of you.
bow.
Very, very, very good, Troy. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, it was absolutely, I lost to the better man, and I'm okay with that.
Are you?
Nope.
See you later.
Yeah. Bill Bornder wanted to know about your awesome cemetery fence, and you just happen to have a video on how you made your cemetery fence, which is awesome.
Oh, the cemetery fence. Yes. I got that off.
Well, you love building those?
Do I love building them? Well, I don't know if I love building anything. I like designing it.
Yes.
But I do need, like I said, I need the staff to build this stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
has
a
to
lot
do
of
it.
work. Fences are a lot of work.
Yeah,
They are. They are.
But, you just kind of put your head down, and I start early. As you can see, the grass is still green in that picture.
Yeah.
So that was probably a spring project. I 3D printed all those massive finials that are on the end.
Those are cool.
because
That
you
looks great.
couldn't buy any that were about 10 inches tall.
Right. And yeah, because we get ours from King's Architectural, which is actually now right down the street from me, which is pretty cool. I can go will call my finials.
Yeah,
now.
the small ones I bought, but the 10-inch ones
okay.
are 3D printed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do know there's a couple of hunters that I've seen that are actually 3D printing their own finials, the small ones. And I'm like, that's a lot of filament.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
I have printed some to do parts of it. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I love making cemetery fences. Once they're done, it's very time consuming. It's like an 8-step process to do it. I mean, there's so much, and painting it.
It's like an assembly line.
Right. It absolutely is. Somebody here in Texas asked about doing a cemetery fence class, and I'm like, no, what it would be is that I would have all the parts ready to go, and like while we're making another
everybody would take a turn putting it together.
Right. Or it would be a show and tell while something else is drying. Like I want to make pillars as a make and take. So then the cemetery fence, I would show people how to like assemble it and just talk about it. So it'd be a show and tell, instead of a make and take. Because having a bunch of people trying to make a cemetery fence in your backyard is just a disaster waiting to happen. It takes too long. But you definitely put an immense amount of detail into these pillars and into the cemetery fence. And
well, that's part of my problem. I'm all about the details, even though, as 90% of the people don't pick up on any of that.
Don't give a shit. Mm-hmm.
No, they don't. Nope. But I feel sometimes that if the details aren't there, they know something is not
great.
Right.
Okay, can you go back to that for a second, Troy?
That looks amazing.
Yeah, right here. Pause it right here. Wait till we get to this. So
That's
Bart,
beautiful.
I have a question. How did you get that patina? Can you walk us through that patina? Because that is like spot on.
Well, it's actually very, very simple. Go to Van Oaks Props.
Man, that's a segue right there if I ever saw this.
There's a patina craft paint you can get. You just water it right down.
Yep.
Spray it on, and then I use some just that rub and buff, just some of the highlights to pull it out. It worked really good. I use a lot of Derek's tutorials for the painting.
Yeah, he's a super talented dude. What you did there is spot on. I mean that looks like something that you see at Disney.
Yeah,
definitely.
That was the goal.
I love how you put the name of your haunt instead of Haunted Manor. Aha.
Yeah, it's not the Haunted Mansion. It is the Morbid Manor.
I had my neighbors ask the same question. They go, "Why did you move those by yourself?" I go, "Because they're PVC, and I lifted it up with one hand."
I'll tell you a story about one of my neighbors. He's moved now, but he never did like the Halloween decorations. And last year before Halloween, he moved away, and the house was empty all through the summer and most of the fall. So even though he didn't live beside me anymore, he made a point of coming over, taking pictures, and reporting me to the city.
Oh dear God!
Oh my goodness!
I can't stand people that have too much time.
You for that? For that? I mean,
Come
that's
on.
a cemetery. That's not.
Yeah, well, nothing came of it.
Oh, well, of course.
Because at the same time this was all going on, we had started up a haunting club in the city, and we're running a big contest for decorating.
Right.
So, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, you have to take down your decorations. Doesn't look very good.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah, funny and or frustrating. I'm not 100% sure which
I was
one
being
it was, but
facetious. Definitely
Right.
Those people need to get a life.
Did you, when you started doing like foam work and stuff, did you just kind of just trial and error it, or did you get like, did you learn from somebody?
Well, I did watch a few tutorials, and then I just sort of adapted that a little bit to what I was doing.
Right. Okay.
And I swear I'm so sick of doing foam work, but I keep bringing more upon myself. It never seems to end.
It looks amazing. So it's probably why you keep doing it.
Or I'm a masochist. I'm not sure, but it does look good. It's a phenomenal technique when
Yes.
you can make something out of foam.
Right.
I love it. I just don't like working with it all the time.
Yeah,
It's
I agree with you.
so messy.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But the results are usually worth it. And
I
again,
go ahead.
I was going to say, again, it boils down to, where do you stop with the details? You can drive yourself crazy, detailing.
Details. When I saw you put this in, I will absolutely, go a little transparent here. I gave you very high marks for this when I was judging this that year, because I loved the fact that you used a friend to actually record the audio. It was funny. It was original. I liked the bars on the lid. I thought that was great.
Thank you.
And it just, everything about it was original of the moving coffin prop, realm. I liked how you could see the body in there. Like, a lot of people will just put the hand, and you'll just see the hand move the thing up and down, or shift side to side. You actually put the whole body in there and everything, and lit it up and set its thing and everything. So I was upset with this, did not win.
Well, thank you. That was actually one of my favorite things to build, and it's kind of due now for an upgrade, and maybe that'll be next year. I have some ideas of what I'd like to do with it, but I'm too busy this year doing other stuff. So
of course. Let's see. What do you have any plans for this year that you can divulge? Anything you're building this year?
Well, everything you see there right now will be back.
Okay.
I am going to add the coffin puller that Oak Lane Cemetery has a YouTube video on. I'm working on that. And another kind of coffin pop-up static prop. Well, it's static right now, but whether it stays static is anyone's guess.
I think it was
if I get really bored, I might try to animate it a little bit. But this thing has been a challenge. It's probably the most complex thing I've tried to build. And I'm not too much of a mechanical wizard. So puzzling things out from videos and trying to engineer it is always an adventure for me.
What I loved about it because I was watching this earlier today, and I've been following along as you've been building this too, but I loved the fact that you used those drawer guides, though, with those nice ball bearings in there to get that real fluid movement. Because there's a lot of us that just use like the pipe and the motor and the the flat stock to
very
move
clunky.
it. But you made it look so smooth, and I absolutely love that drawer guide idea. That
that's in his video, and it is brilliant. I've never tried that before, but yes, by the time this is done and with all of his upgrades, it's pretty clunky even now. But he's got a spring that has to go in there yet, and it'll work out good. But it's a bit of an engineering marvel because there's some angles you need to worry about, so it's not crashing into the coffin, and I want to make it totally so I can break it down. I need to be able to store it and move it, so I can't have it as one unit.
Right.
That sometimes is the challenge. The storage is a big problem.
Of course. Grant's going old school there. I didn't know it was old school. I thought I was like, I'm sure they all use it, and then people stopped, and then now it's all coming back. Dan, it's all coming back. Old school is never old school if people still use it.
That's true.
It's just very useful, and I think what it is like, more people will put out YouTube videos, and then one like from Oak Lane gets lost, and then people find it again,
Yeah, that's actually a fairly old video.
Right. I've watched a lot of Oak Lane's, videos in my day. No, this is great stuff. I love that. I love how much time you're putting into this.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
One thing, purely selfish, I am planning on making something like this for my front door area because I'm making a Frankenstein's lab. And so we have 2 big arches in the front of our house that I want to put bars all over. And I have stuff to make them look patina and stuff like that because brown and rust would blend with all my brick. So I'm going to make them mostly patina and stuff like that. But how did you get the bend and what is that made of?
That bend is completely 3D designed and printed.
So you're gonna print me a couple of those and send them.
We can talk later.
Okay, good. Okay. I'm sure I have somebody around me that has a 3D printer. I do not have one yet because I'm not special.
That was a challenge. I was going to do that just with plywood and it wasn't working out very well. And I thought, can I 3D print this and assemble it? It's going to be a bit of a challenge, but in the end, it worked out better than what the plywood ever could have done.
Right.
But you could definitely use plywood.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to make them look like yours for sure, but I saw the bend and I was like, I've done that with PVC before, heating it up, putting it on a jig. So, putting it through the nails and heating it up so that it stays in that shape for a while in water and all that. But okay, yeah, because I had seen your pictures on doing the rust and all that. If you send the file, I will print and bring to he's gonna print it for me.
Well, I mean, I would have no problem sending the file to you. You have to scale it to your size.
Right. No, that's perfect. So all it is just a flat piece, really. It's just 2 flat pieces side by.
But they're different. The top and bottom are actually different shapes.
Oh, right. Okay. All this tech stuff, man. Whew.
Yeah. I just find it a lot easier to do things in the 3D software than to do things with a sheet of plywood.
Now, for somebody who's never done 3D printing before, and I don't want to talk too much about it because that could be a whole nother episode, but what is the process for getting, did you have to draw that out or were you able to pull things from other parts? I mean,
I drew this out.
How do you 3D print?
Shit.
There's a website.
Basically.
There's some YouTube videos. I've seen a couple.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like a lot of work. This looks like a lot of work.
Yeah, Troy. It's called The Better Haunter.
Oh
no, I don't think so.
Dan, what do you have in your front yard?
Grass right now.
Man.
Oh, grass.
It does look like it's a lot of work because I'm not an expert in Fusion 360 where this was designed in. Others are, and it would be 10 times simpler. But I muddle through it.
Right. No, that's awesome. I definitely applaud all these haunters that are getting, that are diving into technology, of haunting and embracing it and making it something that's useful for all of us, I mean, that's the cool thing about 3D printing is that everybody shares, the 3D printing community is very much like the haunting. They share everything. Yep. They make it and they're like, here you go. And it's like, that is awesome. It's almost like haunters started 3D printing. So I love
that's what most of my 3D printing is actually. I bought the 3D printer to print stuff for Halloween.
Just
90% of it is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
It's fantastic. You have a lot of, oh, look, there's the radio. Okay. You have a fantastic amount of stuff that you have built. I'm very impressed with everything that you build. But I know that if I didn't say anything, Dan would be all upset.
You're right.
So let's talk about Star Wars. Dan?
Star Trek.
Star
Lord.
Star Lord?
Oh, man.
That's Captain Kirk on this screen here.
So tell me about what you do with Star Wars, because obviously there's cosplay. There is a tie between Halloween costuming and then Star Wars. Tell me what got you into Star Wars and all that fun stuff, because that's I'll be honest, that's what I get drawn to. Is the
Well, there's
Star Wars life.
I mean, there's a story behind that too. Obviously, I saw the original Star Wars when it first came out in the theater, so obviously I've loved it. The original trilogy is still my favorite, and there's just something about the stormtroopers that is amazing. You get a bunch of stormtroopers together. It looks cool. So I mean, I want to do it for a long time. When I heard about the 501st, which is the Star Wars costuming group, I thought that's someday what I want to be in. Now it took a long time to get there. There was lots of delays along the way, and things just didn't always work out. But then got to that point finally where it's like, look, I'm going to get the costume and I'm going to do this. So I actually commissioned the costume because unlike foam, where a defect can be a feature, the 501st costumes have to be screen accurate. There's no room for defects, and I knew I didn't have that ability. So I commissioned the costume, got accepted into the organization, and started trooping with my local garrison, which most of them are up in Saskatoon, but that's a 3-hour trip for me, but whatever the case may be.
How many are in your platoon?
Up in Saskatoon, there's probably maybe only 10 other 501st members, but there's some rebel members and some Mandos.
Sure.
So there's a few of us, and we always troop together. You can't have the bad guys without the good guys.
Right.
The good guys have better, or the bad guys have better costumes, though. Just saying.
That's what I say too. Although there's always a debate about that. But how can you not like the stormtrooper?
Yeah.
So I mean, we always goof around a little bit in the things, but it's just so much fun. I mean, it's all usually in conjunction with a charity.
Right.
So we're there to support the charity. They usually raise funds. We make nothing from it. So whatever the charity makes, 100% of it is theirs. We just get the fun of interacting with the people, getting pictures with them, goofing off a little bit. With a stormtrooper, you can be a bit of an asshole.
Right.
They expect that. So we can have fun with it. And that's how I got started in it. And we've got three days of it coming up, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday this week up in Saskatoon.
Why would we be doing something this Saturday, Bartley?
Oh, let's see. Saturday, May the 4th be with you. Yes.
And also with you, my friend.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here I come. Here I come.
Oh, here we come.
Here it comes.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Here comes the big bomb.
Hold on.
Susie has breaking news.
Breaking news. Saturday, May 4th is my birthday. I am a Star Wars baby, and I don't know shit about Star Wars. Thank you very much.
Winning.
Oh, man.
Boo?
I don't even know what to say about that. Honestly.
I know.
I do know a few people who have never seen any of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
But they
I don't know how you
have
can
a
go
birthday on
through
Star Wars Day. I
Well,
don't
they
know.
don't.
Star Wars Day wasn't a thing when I was born. It wasn't a thing. I'm the original. There we go. Thank you very much. I'm older than Star Wars, therefore I own that day. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
I get it.
Okay. So so the original trilogy, like I say, that's still my trilogy. I've watched other movies. I've seen very little of the TV shows. I'll admit that too. So you see, it's not 100%, good or bad, but to not have seen the original trilogy,
It's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You should really get on that.
I mean, look at how cool
Yeah,
it is.
It is. I play with
it. There's
Absolutely.
light boards. Come on.
I've ridden the rides at Disney. I'm good. Dude, I'm good.
There's robots.
You're not good. You just don't understand.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm sorry, Dan. I apologize, but
What could be
I have
more
a friend.
fun?
I have a friend who's literally like pissed that my birthday is on May the 4th because
But you
he's
don't do
such a
anything?
huge Star Wars fan. Oh my God. He will. I don't have my birthday on Facebook anymore because I hate that. But he will wish me a happy birthday on Saturday without even being prompted to because he just remembers that I'm the asshole that got to have her birthday on Star Wars Day and I don't want to.
You know what's
Ooh,
really
there you
cool?
go, Susie, right there. I like my coffee on the dark side.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know, I probably have a cup that says, I swear to you, I probably do.
You know, then you
what?
can have the 5th too, because it's May the 4th be with you, but it's also Revenge of the 5th.
That's
That
right.
is also
Yes.
Revenge of the Fifth.
Very,
right.
yep. Would it fit me, Sean? Would that
He's got a
costume
Jedi
fit me?
costume.
I'm
Well,
like
Jedi
5
co-
foot tall. You gotta remember.
Jedi
No, it would not
costumes.
fit you.
So you
Jedi
could be a
costumes.
Jawa then.
Yeah,
I don't care.
You can be a Jawa.
Yeah, you could be a Jawa.
Definitely.
You
Jawa.
guys are trying to get me to. You guys are trying to get me to do Leia buns, and I'm not doing it because I look dumb. I've tried it. We're not going there.
Okay.
So no.
Then
Susie,
you're a Jawa.
you now have a task. By Saturday, you have to come up with a dark side and a Jedi drink.
I already have a whole menu for Saturday. I already
Of
have a
course.
whole menu. I used it last year, so we're doing it again
What
this
is
year.
it?
Oh, okay.
Our drinks
All
are
right.
good.
Coffee.
All right, good.
They're not
Good.
coffee drinks. Wait a second. Stop. I didn't make these up because obviously I don't know anything about it. So
Tatooine's
Mike,
finest. Let's go.
okay, wait. I'm looking for my menu from last. Oh, here it is. Shit, that's not mine.
Did you thinking about hiring the 501st to come to your coffee shop?
Oh,
Absolutely. Why not? It's a little bit of a drive.
Slave
It's a
Leia.
little more than a drive. Okay, wait. Here it is.
Well,
We
the
made it work. Do
501st
it.
is worldwide.
I know it's worldwide.
Yeah.
This is
so,
the-
I mean,
this
there
is
should
the,
be
I don't
Yeah.
think she
This
knows
is
that though.
the
Susie,
drink.
Susie's not
I don't know. I
understanding.
don't know shit about this. So you.
Oh
you
yeah,
guys
that's
know.
right.
Okay,
I
our
forgot.
drinks.
She doesn't know anything.
Yeah,
There's
she's
three.
just a muggle.
3. So we've got AT but it's AT hyphen
Do you know what AT-AT is?
ATEA because it's T. Okay, it's AT.
You know what an AT-AT is?
Yes, I do. I
Okay.
do. They're the big
You know what
things
an
with the legs.
ATST is?
Yeah.
An
No
STAT?
clue. Absolutely not. I'm going to fail this quiz. Don't start. Okay, and then we have blue milk, and then we have Boba Fett, and we actually put boba in it. Right? Isn't that the coolest thing
That's
ever?
pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty good.
I know, right? So that's it.
pretty good.
Anyway, go on.
That's it. That's all she's got.
That's it. So I have to contribute. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
A unicorn in your life. Susie, are any of those drinks hot or are they all cold?
No, they're all Lotus drinks. If anybody knows what Lotus is, it's it's an energy drink. But
So none of them
not
are
a lot of people
spicy,
know what
like
Lotus
they
is.
don't, like they're not going to make your mouth feel like they're on fire.
Oh my God, no! Lotus isn't. Damn you!
Rapid fire.
Damn you,
question.
Troy!
I baited you right into it.
You like that?
I'd say that was one of the better
Go play.
ones.
That was good. That was definitely good.
God,
I'm not gonna
Yeah, I
lie,
know.
that was good. And I'm
That was
totally
real good.
looking at questions tonight. So
Okay.
got me.
Bart, you know how this works, right? 5 rapid fire questions, answer them as fast as possible.
I don't
With
know how to
the first thing
answer
that comes
stuff
to your
fast
head.
as
Are you ready?
possible.
Answer stuff fast.
I can't say I can answer it fast. I can answer it, but I don't know if it'll be fast.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
As
That's
quick
all
as
I
you
asked
can.
for. First thing that comes to your head.
Okay.
When looking at a haunted attraction or going to a haunted attraction, what is the optimum timeline or time frame for going through an attraction? Like how long would your best
Butchered that.
experience be?
I mentioned this.
Okay.
But, okay. I have 2 answers for that question. First answer, if I can just go through it as an average person, probably 20, 25 minutes. But I have a hard time wanting to go through them like that because I want to look at all the details. And that to me could take a long time and they'd be kicking me out. Like 45 minutes.
I'm always the one they yell
hour.
at.
I am
Always. I'm
one
always
that
the
gets
one they're
yelled at.
like,
I mean, I
Show
understand
winning.
that
Keep going. Just go around me. Just go
Yes.
around me.
yep.
you can't have people holding
Same.
things up, but sometimes you really feel like you're being shoved through it so fast you can't even appreciate what you're supposed to see at all. I've had that happen. It's like I can't even tell you what I just saw. It was like half a second.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a great point.
But when you're into this sort of thing, it's hard not to want to stop and look.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, sorry. Second question. Sorry.
You have the
Skeletons
list.
or pumpkins?
What?
Skeletons or pumpkins?
Oh, skeletons. That one's
Why?
easy.
Why?
Well, they fit my theme. First of all, I can do a lot in my display with skeletons. One of my friend Shane kind of nicknamed it the Boneyard. So I mean that kind of means I can have more and more skeletons. I always call him the what would be the word for it? The enabler. He comes up with all these ideas, and then I got to come up with the money to make them happen. So
I have one of those.
he's the enabler. Yeah.
I get you.
Good.
Question number 3. You know this one's coming. Dan or Troy?
Well,
if let's be with you.
I mean, I've known Troy online for quite a while, and I think we have a pretty good time if we got together.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to say Dan.
I knew he was going to say that. Yeah.
I mean, he likes Star Wars.
Oh,
and me.
man.
All right. So, anyways, we're gonna
Put him off. Put it back on here. Put it back on here.
Oh, that's Dan's best friend there.
It would have been Troy, but he doesn't like the Haunted Mansion.
So see, there it is. There it is.
That's
There it
just
is.
foolish on your part, Troy.
I know. I say the wrong thing throughout every episode, and I have them in the bag in the beginning, and then it just tanks throughout the episode.
You do realize that Troy does all the interview pulling. Like he pulls all the people on for this show, and he has all the connections with these people. But
and everybody picks Dan.
Everybody picks Dan, and
he deserves what he gets.
I do. I absolutely do.
And I see my friend Shane is in the chat. So the enabler is in the chat.
There
right
he
now.
is. Too true.
Yeah. He's training his son to be the same way. Here's a funny little story. For when I was doing my Halloween parties, I needed a bunch of fancy fabric to make some hallways in the house. So we went to a fabric store and he brought his kid along, and we told him, like, just find some fancy fabric. So we were looking, I needed a lot of it. And I couldn't find anything. And his kids come walking up with this bolt of fabric. It was perfect. It's like, where'd you find that? It was just great. And then I looked at the price. It was probably the most expensive shit that was in the store, but it was so good. I had no choice. I had to buy this whole bolt of fabric.
Oh my God.
But it was perfect. So now we got the running joke that his kids got expensive tastes, and just got to keep them away.
That's awesome. All right, question number 4. Vampires or zombies?
I'm going to say vampires.
Vampires? All right.
Even zombies that kind of work for my haunt. There's something about vampires that always kind of like the vampires.
Yeah.
To each their own. And then the last haunted house question we have for you tonight is the facade or the final scare?
Well, we don't get a lot of places to go through for displays and professional haunted houses and whatnot. So I haven't had a chance to do a lot of that, but I would say the facade. That kind of is going to set it up for me, what I'm going to be in for. And I can go back to the Haunted Mansion.
What was that?
When I see the Haunted Mansion, that just tells me
Yeah.
it sets the mood.
Indeed, it
really
does.
Yeah. So, I mean, the final scares are good, but
Sets the mood that your pocket is empty of all the cash that was in it.
Don't listen to him, Bart. He's just salty right now.
Okay, but here's the thing. The facade, I agree with the facade. I absolutely do.
100% agree with the facade.
A fantastic facade. But like I was saying at the beginning of the show, Bates Motel has a great facade.
Yeah.
But then,
you didn't like it.
You know,
True.
so you can have a great facade, but you need to back it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, of course. But we're talking about facade or final scare.
Right. That, yeah.
Well,
I didn't
I'm
say
gonna
facade
say
or haunted house.
Well, true. Okay. All right. Well, there was no final scare at base. There was on the hayride, but not in the hotel.
Really?
Nope.
They just
It
send
was
you
just
out?
kind of. I was like, oh, we're done.
Oh, this is the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. That's
Yeah.
that's like haunted house badness.
Well,
There.
I mean,
Suicide.
the couple that I've been on
Suicide.
have had final scares,
Yeah. me
but
and
none of them
Graham,
have had like any kind of big facade whatsoever. I kind of remember some of the final scares. I remember one where everyone's screaming and trying to run away, and I'm saying, "Get out of the way! I want to get closer so I can see this." And then another side story regarding a final scare from years and years ago. Went to a haunted house, and one of my friends was with me, and I don't know what time of year it was, but there's only 3 other people in this, so there's 5 of us total. It looked like a husband and wife and maybe their kid. So we went through this haunted house, and it was pretty good. We get to the last room, and they said just walk. You can exit walking down this hallway. So we look out. It's just a plywood tunnel going back to the street. There's nothing special about it whatsoever. They all stood there and they said, I'm not walking down that tunnel. So I said, oh, seriously? So I started walking down the tunnel, and they're all peering at me walking down this tunnel. I get about halfway down. It's maybe about 30 feet long, and I hear a chainsaw fire up. But it's not from in front of me. It's from behind me, and it's from behind them. And this guy jumps out of a closet with this chainsaw, and these other 3 people come screaming down this tunnel. The guy grabbed my hand and dragged me out. I have no idea who he was. And I said, that's what you guys get for being such chicken shits. If you just would have walked down the damn tunnel, I would have been the one standing in the room with the guy with the chainsaw. But no, I said, this was perfect for me. It was hilarious. So final scares can be pretty good, but they never forget it. I didn't all these years later.
And that's what the final scare does. So
yeah,
that's true.
My best scare was at the terror train, which is in Alberta, and it's in half the haunt takes place in a moving train.
Yep.
So they got these 3 baggage cars they've converted into this. I call it a shock house, basically. So there's lots of actors and different things happening. So my friend and I are going through, and it was pretty easy to tell what was going on. There was either props that were moving or there was actors. So we get in this one room, and there's a guy hanging from a meat hook. And because the train is moving, he's just ever so slightly swaying on this meat hook. Now he looked just like a mannequin. And the way it had been set up before that, I thought he was a mannequin, and it was impressive. And I said to my friend, I got to get a look at this mannequin.
Oh,
so
man.
I got right up to this guy. Well, it wasn't a mannequin. And he probably thought, what? Oh, this guy's just a dumb shit. So there I am, like 5 inches from his face, and he gives me this big bear hug. Well, I jumped out of my skin, and my friend said, "You probably jumped 3 feet off the ground." It was great. That was by far the funniest scare.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
I agree, Ryan. Penhurst's final scare was pretty intense. You're going down this tunnel at the end, another tunnel, of course, and it's filled with fog and strobe lights. And the strobe lights are more of a flickering light than a strobe light. So it's not as bright. It's definitely going to the point where the person in front of you is like disappearing because of your eyesight and the fog. And you don't know where you're going because you're just walking forward. You're literally, and there's a few actors here and there that are doing things a little bit, but you're literally walking and watching the people in front of you get a little bit further away because their pace is changing. And then but the flashing light makes it so intense. And then you're just walking out of this tunnel, and it's just there's people coming at you and stuff like that. And it's just it was sensory overload, but your mind was telling you that stuff was going to happen. Like I was absolutely waiting for one of them to get just like whoop, gone, just disappeared in front of me, and I was like, there he goes, he's gone. One more seat on the bus because he's not coming back. It was absolutely crazy. So I think facade and final scare absolutely have their place. But I definitely love a facade. Just because for pictures and marketing, I love that kind of stuff too. But that final scare, you tell everybody. So there's a lot for both. We will ruffle through these really fast here.
Troy, you're really struggling on
No,
getting these things out here.
No, I'm not. I got this. We were having fun. We didn't need to do a
question of the week.
We didn't need to do this yet. So here we go. Susie,
have you ever had anything stolen or vandalized?
Not yet. Touch wood.
Touch wood.
I've had a few kids picking away on some of the stuff, but mainly just more curiosity than anything else.
Just to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not until your crazy neighbor comes back and starts.
Right.
Hopefully that's the end of that.
Yeah. Hopefully.
The new neighbors seem to be quite nice.
Susie, have you had anything taken from?
I don't. Not that I know of. Stolen.
Yeah.
If somebody stole something small from the haunt, it's been forgotten. I mean, we just forgot we had it. There's a lot of little things in the haunt. And it's funny that we had a new actress this year that was from a bigger haunt in our area, and she really loved our haunt. And she was in a connecting scene with my sister this past year. And my sister told me that she said she was amazed at the stuff that we didn't have glued down, because at this other haunt, everything is shellacked and glued down. I know this haunt, and I know that
would that be Ethan's haunt?
It's not Ethan's haunt. No, it's
because Ethan glues and nails everything.
Glues everything down.
down.
No, not a haunt. Not a haunt Ethan's ever been associated with. Either.
Okay.
But, not that. So she was shocked. She was like, "I love it because it gives me so much more like freedom to be able to do things and pick things up and stuff." But if stuff gets stolen, I don't think. And to be honest, has anybody ever stolen anything? It would probably be an actor over an actual patron. So to be honest,
right
there you go.
I know that we had pumpkins thrown at because I was dumb enough to put real pumpkins on top of my foam pillars, and these kids came around the neighborhood and threw them at my tombstones like target practice. So that was partially my bad.
Damn it, Troy.
Damn it, Troy. But we did have people try to steal our giant console TV. We had a Drag Me to Hell scene one years ago. And we had this giant console TV inside the middle of my yard in a building, a 3-sided building. And
somebody tried to take it.
They took the DVD player, the stereo, and the speakers, and they strapped a toe strap around the TV and tried to take it. They got it about halfway out of the scene and must have given up. And so out of that, I did have to go back to Goodwill and get some more speakers and a DVD player and stuff. But I ended up with a killer toe strap that I still have to this day.
Nice. You won.
I think I win on that one.
Definitely.
I was like, what are you going to do with this damn thing? It weighed like 600 pounds. What are you going to do with it? It took like 4 of us to get it in there.
It's nostalgia now.
You
gotta put that shit in the haunt.
And it worked too. It worked. I was surprised when I got it. Don't ask me where I got it from. I have no idea where I got it from. So let's see. Our final question for you tonight is a doozy. It's a doozy. It's a deep.
It's a doozy.
Doozy.
Dang.
Haunting, what does it mean to you, Bart?
That's actually kind of a hard question.
I know.
I blame Troy.
Blame Troy?
Yeah, I blame Troy.
Oh, 100%. I would not think anyone else was at fault for that.
I appreciate you for that, Bart. God bless you.
Well, I guess there's multi levels to that answer. on a very basic level, it goes back to like the simpler times when building those little haunted houses and elementary school
House parties.
Halloween parties and parties.
Oh.
Yes. I mean, who can not like that? On another level, there's something about Halloween where putting a display out there in spookiness that you can't get away with that most of the year. It's just fun.
Right.
It touches something. I'm not sure what it touches, but it touches something. And then the people that I have met, like a crazy number of talented people who have done so many things and have so many good ideas. I never would have started this local haunters organization in the city if I wouldn't have ran into my friend who runs that the Halloween house with the inflatables. It was just a coincidence that she came over one day when I was shoveling out the yard and introduced herself, and we started talking and decided, what the city needs is it needs a club for decorating. Let's try to bump up Halloween in this city. So all these things kind of go together to make what it means. It's something to do with my buddy who does the pirate display, the enabler. We can talk and have a good time planning these crazy little ideas.
Yeah.
So, but I'm curious, what does it mean to you guys? Have you ever answered this question?
I don't think we have.
The community.
Have we?
I've answered it several times on posts, but to me, it's the community. It is the getting together with family and telling. I always say, if you would have told me 14, 15 years ago that making a foam tombstone or a crazy looking guy in my yard would have led to me walking around, downtown Philadelphia, seeing all that history after being at a great convention, or going to Rutherford Manor and acting there, going to see Hell's Gate or Haunted Overload, all these crazy things that I never would have imagined in my life being able to do, all because I made something silly in my yard one year, and it led to all of this because of all of these amazing people. That, I mean, it's just, to me, it's absolutely the people.
Well, you really did run with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that, and I'm gonna add to the community, because not only are haunters on the internet in what Troy just said, but also it means a lot to me finding a place, running a haunted attraction, or being a part of a haunted attraction and seeing the fact that it's an island of misfit toys, and having a place for everybody that can be in one place together and have a like-minded common theme where we can all relate and get away from the realities of the world.
Yeah.
It's like no other.
That's a good point. Getting away from the realities, and sort of my Star Wars involvement is like that too. It's all like-minded people.
It's the same concept, and that's why I think that's why I like that as well.
Yeah.
Like fantasy.
Yeah.
For me, it's the nostalgia. It all goes back to me to the first time my dad sat me down and put in a beta videotape and showed me the original Frankenstein, and we watched it together, and decorating my house and having the only house in the neighborhood that had strobe lights and a fog machine, because nobody else had that. And having my parents, who were much, much older when they had me, be so into it. Like, my parents' generation wasn't into Halloween. So the fact that I had a mom and a dad that would dress up, and my dad dressed up until he died, my dad would be like almost 100 now. That to me is what it is. It's just deeply rooted in my family, which is why I love it so much. It's just so many memories for me, and so much stuff that I try to recreate. And sometimes those memories and that nostalgia, you just can't you can't grasp it. You just can't get that back. And you just keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying. You put albums on and you listen to, you know, spooky sounds of Halloween as much as you can. And you try to just get that back, and you don't. So you just keep trying. And and I'm going to keep trying and keep trying. And, you know, that's basically
it's nice to see the smiles on people when they're looking at it and their kids are coming up to the house and the kids are excited. And even though we don't always get a lot of kids, but it's fun.
Tony, not going to butcher your last name, wants to know what model is your 3D printer?
It's a Creality CR10, I think it is. It's one of the older ones. There's much better ones out there now.
Right. Okay.
It took me 2 years to get it to work properly. I love to hate it.
You're like, I'm never going away from it now. I spent all that time on it.
Well, that's pretty much true. But I mean, I couldn't do a lot of the stuff that I've been doing without the 3D printer.
Right.
A lot of it revolves around what I can print.
Right. But you only have 184 days until Halloween, so
that is more like 100 and not 100.
Way less.
Right.
Yeah.
Way less.
54.
I'm already late.
Next year I will put it to like the first day of October. You know, days until
I like to be ready by the end of September.
Okay.
So I can go out in the yard and get as much time out there as I can.
So I need to be same.
But that's a frightening number.
It is. It goes down every week. It goes down every week, and I hate it.
Scary.
Now I'm gonna have to like double my efforts here, even though I feel like I'm not behind. Now I feel like I'm behind again.
Now it feels like it, because guess what tomorrow is? Does anybody want to sing it?
It's gonna be May. May.
Right.
May.
That's what I was looking for.
Wow.
Thanks, Troy.
Wow.
Yeah, I started later building this year too. I was doing a lot of designing, but physically building didn't start till last month.
I've got a lot of stuff to build. I'm right there with you. We have 2 panels of.
Well, I wish you would be right here with me. You could help build. You could be put.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well done, Bart. Well done.
I gotta go.
Yeah, no surprise there.
I might actually feed you while you're here.
Oh well, then I'm coming up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look, I already got the shirt, so I'm ready to go.
Yes. Right on. Hey, did you finish your judging?
Oh, I'm way done.
Oh, good.
I turned it in like the day I got the sheet because I'm so cool.
Oh, so you just pencil whipped it?
Yeah, I just gave everybody
totally
5.
pencil whipped that.
I just gave everybody 5.
I know that guy 10. I don't know that guy 1. I know that guy 10.
I don't know that guy.
That one wasn't landscape. -5.
Right. I threw off the algorithm totally. Hugh's gonna be like, "What did Troy do?" So if you have time and you want to check out more of his awesome videos about how he's made some of the things that he's made, his displays over the last couple of years, you can also he is into kite flying, which is awesome.
I'm not into that anymore.
He hates kite flying, so don't worry about that.
Don't talk to him about it. You'll just piss him off.
I don't hate it.
Kites, we're done. Okay.
This is what he won't pick, right?
They just, he does have but to be fair,
I knew he wasn't into kites.
Look at all these kite videos.
Okay, but I was into kites. I'm not denying it. I'm just not into them anymore.
Well, you can sell. It's so great because it goes 11 years ago and then nothing for 6 years, and then 5 years ago Halloween.
Yeah, you're not going to find much on my YouTube channel. Most of those videos aren't even public. I have to go in there now and make them up. Oh, God damn it.
Damn it, Troy. Damn it, Troy.
Yes.
Give me some time. I'll make sure I make them public if they're not already public.
Oh my God, I love it.
You're better off looking at the Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which Troy didn't bring up.
Wait, you have a Facebook page?
The Morbid Manor. You didn't.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm still
all
on
this
convention
time I have been talking about Halloween, and he does not even have the Facebook page.
He's tired. He
That
just got back
matters
from a
more than that. That's
convention. What other excuses do we have?
He doesn't like
He's
the haunted
Troy.
mansion.
That
He
he's
lost
pissed at
to me
you
in
for
a
winning over
contest.
him. There you go.
Yep.
Now
but
he's
to be
pissed
fair,
at you, Dan.
I'm absolutely following it. Dan, are you?
There
Ooh,
you go.
I've been following it forever.
Uh,
And if
Look,
any
yeah,
local
you're gonna
people
bring it
are
up.
listening, remember
There's
I
a-
need actors.
Yeah, see, if you guys want to go up there and act in the snow, let's
Yes.
hit them up.
Or if you want to shovel the snow, that's good
Yeah.
too.
Oh, there
man,
you
I'll tell
go.
what, this is sounding better and better.
Yeah,
Sign me up.
The sales pitch is second to none.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
So, Dan, don't you have something to ask me?
Yeah. I just can't get over your lack of enthusiasm tonight, Troy. I apologize.
I'm a little
Troy.
tired, okay?
Troy,
I didn't get up
He's
till 1 o'clock
tired.
last night on the delayed flight.
I know you're tired, so I don't know if you'll get this question right, but who do we have on next week?
You know that he segued it earlier.
Oh, yes, Derek.
There we go.
Mr. Van Oaks himself, Derek Young, will be joining us next week. So
Perfect.
we got a
That's
lot to talk
fantastic.
about. So
I'll
get
have to
ready.
make sure
about
I
that.
don't miss that show.
Yeah. Get a comfortable chair.
I will.
We're
Get
gonna
a real chair. We're
I
gonna
have
watch
I have
Troy's
used
Farm.
so many of his tutorials. It's
Oh, yes.
crazy.
The dude is so
I
talented.
should probably be paying him some kind of salary.
We've featured many of his DIYs on here
Yep.
over the years. So
Yep. Yes, we have.
He's
Yep.
good.
Good
so
stuff.
he finally said yes.
It's about time.
Damn right. We finally got somewhere. We've
I know, right?
planted our foot. Well, with that being said, Bart, thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having
It's
me.
been
It
a
was
pleasure.
It has been a pleasure. I enjoyed it.
Oh, and somebody.
Yeah,
would-
If
Hey,
he ever gets
Troy,
Texas,
What's Tony's last name before we go?
don't let's see.
D'Alessio.
Tony
D'Alessio.
D'Alessio.
Wait, D'Alessio.
D'Alessio.
That's my guess.
If I would have
right.
known that Troy was sitting right on the line of the solar eclipse, I would have been at his place.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
I know.
awesome.
It's
Oh,
He
look at
didn't
that.
invite any of us.
It's disgusting that he just had to go
Bart,
sit
he
in his
didn't-
front yard.
He
He's
didn't
he's
ask
such a
us.
selfish
Dan and I
asshole.
were not invited, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
Actually, I put out a Facebook post that said, I'm on the line. If anybody wants to come here, you can come here and
Look,
stay. I
look,
did.
Yeah, like
Troy.
20 minutes before, and I
No,
don't
no,
know 20
no.
minutes away.
No, it was
I didn't
Yeah.
see that post, and believe me, I see all your crap. It comes through all the time.
Yeah, I'll be
Oh,
honest, Brett. I'm with
right?
you. I got a post or a picture like afterwards or during. It was like,
I
oh,
mean, I
cool.
saw him on
Yeah.
the trampoline doing
Yeah.
whatever he
Yeah.
was doing. That
Yeah.
was bad.
Hey Bart,
enough.
there's this
Selfish asshole.
cool feature on Facebook. It's called Snooze for 30 days. Just a thought.
Then he wouldn't be laughing. He wouldn't have anything to laugh at.
Snooze Troy. It's a new hashtag. Snooze Troy.
Yeah.
All the things I would miss.
See,
Oh,
there's a
my.
lot to miss when you snooze me.
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you.
Well, Bart,
You snooze me, I'll find out.
No shit.
I got people.
I know.
Yeah,
you
I
Hang
do.
know.
on, let me get in there right now and unsnooze.
yeah, I know. You'll be sitting at the kitty table pretty soon.
That's
Don't worry.
right, you will. With Dan Doble.
Hey, we'll have fun. He's my pick, remember.
Right.
Thank you, Bart. Thank you. All right. Now let's end this show. Bart, appreciate you for coming on. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
for having me.
for
It was
being
fun.
part of this show, and for everybody that's been watching. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Troy, Susie, Bart,
Good
I
night.
think it's time we say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Until next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. 8
Good night,
p.m.
John Boy.